Hi there, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm in Evansville at the World War II and Lego event, joined by Dan Siskin, and he's going to take us through this World War II Lego layout.
Sure, this is the Battle of Alamein, so not even sure if I'm saying that right. But this is like
Close enough.
It was really the turning point in North Africa campaign. The British pretty much routed the German and Italian armies in northern Egypt, and at this battle basically the Germans were at the end of their supply lines, and the British had time to restock and rethink what they're doing, regroup, and pretty much wiped the Germans out. Ended up chasing them all the way back to Tunisia across North Africa. What we were actually looking at, this is kind of the battle. So right now it's set up on a black table drop, sort of kind of fitting the artistic way that everything's displayed in this museum. This is actually a group build that we have at World War Brick. So we have a tabletop playmat that we throw down that has like a scene, basically, terrain mapped out on it. But for the sake of the museum show, we thought we'd do something different. At group build meeting, usually we show up, set up the buildings, and then let the kids build set up all the figures and do it. But for the sake of this diorama, we put it together. It is a museum display. If we let the kids do it, it would be, who knows what would happen.
You've got to have some, somewhat storyline and things going on here.
Sure. Yeah, and I was actually not even really present when this was put together. I was like struggling with the Missouri or something. So the team put this diorama. So you have the British on one side. So a lot of these are former or past Brickmania kits.
Okay.
And a lot of times what will happen is we'll have display models that go in our stores, and after we sell out of the kits, we're like, let's do something with the display models, and that's how we end up with these group builds. Most of everything you see here is available in our Rats and Foxes book, instruction book. So when something retires, it ends up in the instructions. All those guys, they're laying down. They're not supposed to be laying down. We stole their bases. They're not injured. They will be put back together shortly.
Then you've got some of the nice kind of North African architecture here with some of this.
Right. Well, when we're making a little diorama, you obviously want to have some buildings and stuff in it. What you're looking at more or less is thrown together in a matter of minutes. We're like, let's build some cool terrain, but let's not put too much time into it.
It gives a nice idea, though, for the battle scene of kind of what's happening here.
Well, everything's kind of has some playability to it because we wanted the kids to be able to play with it. So for example, let's take this building over here. You can see the back is open so the kids can pose guys in it. The tops all come off. So we wanted to give it some sort of playability. We did actually, I think even in the instruction book, we built a couple of sample buildings so people would have an idea of how to do this, because people are always asking, how do we build buildings, or can you make props for us to build with? And so here we have a few of them. These terrain features, these are former backgrounds. When we did the desert themed sets, we made these big props, a gigantic like diorama, so to speak. It was just for photography, for taking pictures on, and we salvaged a few of them just for this diorama. So little mesa-like structures. So British Army, you have to have a bagpipe. The only thing that we're missing here is the tea break, because the Germans are actually coming. Some Australian, what is this? A universal carrier. Matilda tanks, more universal carriers. Long Range Desert Group is making a very valiant charge into the German lines. So we have this Grant tank here, which is one of the few British tanks capable of taking on one of these heavier German tanks. Of course, here's the Germans. Panzer IV, pair of Panzer IIIs behind it. Of course, all the infantry valiantly following the tanks into battle. These are Kubel wagons again, half track. And this is a rare fuel truck. Another one that we made just for, teasing the kids with. Everybody wants us to build that and sell it, but we've yet to do it. I don't know how popular a fuel truck would be, and all those tan parts are pretty choice and rare.
You've got better uses for them.
Right. We can make one, but we can't make many. That's the problem with a lot of our builds. We can make one, but making it in multiples to sell is a completely different prospect.
Mm-hmm. So then talk about the minifig design here. You've got, different hats and helmets and things. And how much do you try to customize minifigs for kind of the exact battle? Or do you have kind of a general kind of German look, or how does that work?
Well, these guys are standard German uniforms, but we did a tan version just so we could have some desert looking guys. I think actually in World War II in the desert, these guys' uniforms started out green and they faded to tan just from being in the sun. So, it's kind of if we were to make this more historically accurate, these guys would have like a light green uniform, like a sort of a earthen green, but just sweat and the sun would turn that really faded tan color. So
Yeah, so it's cool to see all the minifigs and kind of a nice example of each side's vehicles and everything you guys have designed over the years here. So it's a nice little diorama.
It's a real it's a vignette of the battle in a nutshell. You notice there's no blood, there's no gore. In fact, everybody's like happy and smiling. So
It's apparently a great day, except for these guys. I don't think that's going to end well.
right into the tank. Well, I don't know. That's the LRDG. They did a lot of cool things and got away with a lot of stuff. So
There you go.
right under the nose of the Germans. So
Well, thanks for having this set up here, and thanks for taking us through it.
yeah, thanks for the interest.